Been a lot of clipboard and chalk discussions with quarterbacks coach Paul Hackett and Chris Sims the past couple of weeks.
Well, they just have to get on the same page, and they've got to get Chris some confidence so that he can start throwing the ball down the field. If they can't do that and not run the ball, it's going to be a very long day for them.
1st and 10 for Delhomme to Deshaun Foster. Again, a lot of love up the middle. Very close to another Carolina first down. Well, the action was fast in this one to start. The second play from scrimmage, and Chris Sims was picked off by Gamble. Chris Gamble had 7 last year. That one was huge as it set up a one-play drive, a 31-yard touchdown strike to Keyshawn Johnson. Johnson's first TD as a Panther.
The Tampa Bay 44.
The rushing game has been a big part of Carolina's early success, and it certainly comes as a pleasing development to the Panthers. There's Johnson again for a reception, good for a pickup of 6. You know, it hasn't been a healthy offensive line for Carolina. They've got to be thrilled with the way they've held up early today.
No question. Coming in, that was a big question mark, and Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator, said he was scared to death because he didn't know what he was going to get. This is Bridges' first game. They signed him after week 1. Mathis was benched after week 1, and then now he's back up because Montgomery didn't play well, and there's Dan Henning in the middle there. He's doing a good job mixing up the runs and the passes, but if those guys up front can continue to play well, good things will happen for this offense.
Deshaun Foster was good for 8 yards on that last play. The boot, Delhomme keeps it, and he is tackled shy of a first down by Barrett Ruud. Well, they played musical chairs on the offensive line for the Panthers.
You can see how they started in week 1, and then look at week 2. Jordan Gross goes over the left tackle because Wharton got hurt. Handgartner comes in because Hartwig hurt his groin. Mathis was benched because he didn't play well, so Montgomery stepped in there, and then Todd Fordham stepped in at right tackle. And then look at today. Mathis goes back in. Bridges comes in. He's going to play. Handgartner's playing again, so they have not been settled on their offensive line in either week.
3rd and 2. This game has not seen a converted 3rd down until this handoff. And Brad Hoover, the short yardage specialist and one of the more popular veteran Panthers, converts on the first down.
And again, this offensive line doing a good job just coming off the ball. In Tampa Bay, they've got Chris Hovan inside and Booger McFarland. They're not real big guys. They're smaller, quicker guys. So if you run right at them, you can gain some positive yards. And that's exactly what the Panthers are doing. They're just running downhill at those guys.
That was Brad Hoover's first carry of the year. They split Keyshawn out wide. And a whistle before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Head referee Tony Corrente flagging one of those linemen that we just glowed about, JC.
And watch Derek Brooks. He's going to run up into the line, and he's ready to blitz, and that's going to force the blocking change. And you see Jordan Gross, number 69, the left tackle, just starts to get out of there a little too quickly.
Panthers were the least penalized team in the NFL last year. That was their 15th violation in 2+ games in 2006.
Steve Smith singled up top.
Empty backfield. And the quick pass to Deshaun Foster, who lined up split wide. Does not amount in much. Barrett Ruud was there to make the hit for Tampa Bay. Let's check in with Jay Glazer.
Well, guys, you're talking about the musical chairs up on the offensive line. Also, a lot of other young guys have to step up for an injured Panthers team. Well, yesterday, Jake Delhomme, he addressed his team and said, look, guys, there's going to be a window of opportunity here for some of you young guys, some guys who maybe don't play as much. You better not crawl through that window. You better jump through it for us. Back to you.
And Jake needs some help himself because he hasn't played so well the first 2 weeks either. And, you know, he wants some guys to step up, give them some protection, and also be able to run the ball.
Deshaun Foster bounces off a tackle and works an extra yard out of it. Barrett Ruud again makes the play for Tampa Bay. A gain of 2 for Foster.
Foster's a guy that they expect to make big plays. He's got that kind of ability, but he hasn't done it in the first 2 weeks. See, he bounces it backside. He just runs through a tackle by Derek Brooks. Barrett Ruud's able to bring him down, but he was able to turn something that looked like it was going to be a negative play into a positive yard.
D'Angelo Williams in the backfield now with Delhomme. Deshaun Foster's off to a great start. He has already outrushed his total from an entire game a week ago. Delhomme is hit. Hard to say what that was intended to be. It looked like he was trying to get it to Steve Smith, but Dwayne White came in to apply the hit for Tampa.
Well, Tampa's got to bring some pressure in order to get to Jake Delhomme. So you're going to see these guys coming at the snap, and he's going to try to throw the ball to Steve Smith, who's got man-to-man coverage. The blocking scheme gets confused, and you can see Bridges just turns Dwayne White completely loose. Dwayne White's able to come in there and get a hit on Delhomme.
A 51-yard attempt for the last remaining original Panther, John Casey. And Casey 5 for 5 this year. Carolina adds to its early advantage. Minute 31 left in the opening quarter. Panthers by 10.
Imagine the NFL on a Samsung HD TV so crisp and colorful, you'll feel like part of
blitz is going to come in here, and what happens is the secondary needs to check all this coverage, and they need to bounce over to cover Bryson, and sure enough, right in the middle, number 22, Marquand Manuel can't make the open field tackle there. It's just a good back against a defensive back.
Juan Randall and Brandon Lloyd. Naturally, Sam, that's going to take some of his touch.
Double cheeseburgers.
So the Jets finally with field position at the
exactly where you were in a Ford.
Second sack of the season, should it stand.
Usually in the interior, it's probably holding.
There is no foul. The action is deemed to be legal. Third down.
I've never heard that one before. Yeah. Personal.
Intended for Ferguson, and it's well overthrown.
And escape, and they bring in their wide receiver.
Hyperbole, Boomer, hyperbole.
How?
With Samsung Slim Fit, it's not that hard to imagine.
Get all your gear at NFLShop.com.
The visiting Carolina Panthers have found a bit of a Pirates booty here in Tampa Bay this afternoon. Back with J.C. Pearson, Matt Vasgersian. You know, this is the 12th meeting between these two teams in the relatively new NFC South. There have been some low-scoring games in the series between these two teams, and 10 points today may be a big deal.
10 points is huge today because this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense is non-existent. They haven't scored a touchdown all year, and today they've got 16 total yards in 2 drives. It's going to be tough for them to get back in this game.
Michael Pittman has no chance at a return. Tampa Bay takes over at the 20. The pennant races are not only heating up, they're starting to wind down. Playoff implications abound. This week at 1 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, Fox Saturday Baseball wraps up the final weekend of the regular season. Some fantastic races abound. San Diego now with a game-and-a-half lead over Los Angeles. And the Padres will not play, will play Monday when the Dodgers have a day off. That'll make up that half game. And how about the Phillies, who continue to win without Bobby Abreu? Great races in the National League. Sims back to pass here on first down. He's sandwiched and finally gets rid of it. Big Chris Jenkins was on his back.
But indecision again by Chris Sims. Normally a guy's going to drop back. He's going to read the coverage. He's going to get rid of the football. Chris Sims is double pumping. He's being a little too cautious. He doesn't want to turn the ball over. And you see, he wants to throw the ball there, and then he pulls it down, and there's nobody else to throw the ball to him. See Galloway right here. If he holds it and continues to stay on Galloway, and that's one thing Coach Gruden told us is he's too quick to come off of guys. If he would have stayed on Galloway, he's wide open.
Sims 1 for 5 passing to start the day. Play action to Cadillac. Tried to get it to Galloway there. Thrown incomplete. Chris Gamble had coverage for Carolina. JC, not only is the crowd out of it here in what is ordinarily a loud home-friendly stadium, it's starting to grow a little angry.
Yeah, they're definitely booing Chris Sims and this offense right now. And he's got to make some plays. That's the bottom line. He knows it. He told us in the meetings that he understands what the problems are, and they're all correctable, but so far today he hasn't corrected any of them.
Bringing up 3rd and 10 now. And Sims is sacked. Julius Peppers, who had 3 last week at Minnesota.
Julius Peppers, I think he's the most dominant defensive player in the league right now after what he did last week. And then watch him right here. He's got it all. He's quick, he's fast, he comes back inside, gets pushed back to the outside, maintains his balance, keeps his head up, and then falls right into the sack. Julius Peppers, you've got to double team that guy.
Josh Bidwell punting from the end zone. Chris gambled at midfield, signals fair catch at the 41-yard line. Good field position again for Carolina. That sends you back to Los Angeles for another game break with Chris Rhodes.
Matt, maybe Chris Sims should throw some of those shorter routes, like a shovel pass. Mark Brunell to Quentin Portis of the Redskins. This is the good news. 74 yards on this pass play to set up a Liddell Betts touchdown run. Bad news is Portis re-aggravated his shoulder injury. He has returned to the game, though. Texans and Redskins tied at 7. Back to Matt, JC, and the Glaze.
Chris, thanks. 74 yards on a shovel pass. What the D2 is going on in that game? Come on now.
That's one of those unconventional plays that people don't prepare for. At least that's the excuse they give around the league for that Atlanta option, and that's what they'll give for that, I'm sure.
Kerry Colbert and Keyshawn Johnson split for Carolina. Jake goes through his reads and finds an open man. That's Brad Hoover out of the backfield, who has already had more activity today than in 2 games combined.
You know, the big thing today coming in is starting field position. You can see Carolina has started their drives average at their own 45-yard line, so they're playing on the short field. Tampa Bay, starting on their own 26, is playing on the long field, and that's what you want, and that's what Coach Henning wanted. He wanted them to be able to play on the short field and then make Tampa play on the long field with their struggling offense.
Gain of 6 yards on the play as the first quarter will wind down. It has been all Panthers to start the afternoon. Our score at the end of the first quarter, 10-0 Carolina. We'll be back after a word from your local Fox station.
You're on a mission to get an amazing new TV this year, but you want to be absolutely sure you pick the right one. Circuit City makes it simple. That's because we've got thousands of online customer reviews that rate the hot new stuff. And right now, all TVs are on sale. Plus, get no interest till 2008 on all TVs $299 and up. Only at Circuit City.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
The Hyundai Challenge is on. Now get a whopping $4,000 cash back on the Hyundai Santa Fe, winner of Auto Pacific's Best in Class for Vehicle Satisfaction. It beat all other midsize SUVs, including Ford Escape and Chevy Equinox. And it comes with America's best warranty. Rethink your next SUV during our model year closeout. Save like never before on the award-winning Santa Fe. Up to $4,000 cash back if you act soon. Get a new Santa Fe with up to $4,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer. Hurry, only a few weeks left.
This My Circle from Alltel Wireless is killing us.
You could choose like 10 people and all calls to them are free no matter what network they're on.
Like anyone could even have 10 friends.
Anyway, we gotta put a stop to it. Any ideas?
I got the carne asada. It's awesome.
That's genius. Well, whatever we do, we have to keep in contact.
Just don't call me until after 7, because that's when my free minutes kick in.
You guys aren't on my network, so this could get pricey.
We could send emails.
That'll show them.
My Circle, only from Alltel Wireless.
Time is running out to get a great deal on an 06 Ford because the Ford model year clearance is almost over. Now $2,006 bonus cash means $5,006 total cash back on an F-150 Super Cab. Or choose 2006 Ford credit bonus cash plus 0% APR on Super Duty, F-150, and Ranger. See your local Southern Ford dealer now.
Tomorrow at 8, $5 million is right below their feet, and the only thing they have to figure out...
Our money should be under that garage.
...is how to get it. See why the new season just keeps getting better. An all-new Prison Break at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Oh, it's been a happy return back to Tampa Bay for Keyshawn Johnson. A game-high 39 yards in the first quarter and a touchdown and a 10-0 lead for his Panthers. DeLome and the Panthers from the 46, and that pass is complete for another Carolina first down, and it's that man again, Keyshawn Johnson. You know, it was the year after the Super Bowl season that the Keyshawn-Gruden relationship officially deteriorated. After a loss to San Francisco, Keyshawn had only one reception for 4 yards in this game. The team was 3-3 at the time. They went on to lose another couple of games, and finally it ended with Keyshawn being deactivated despite a lot of money and some years left on the contract.
Well, they just didn't get along. They didn't see eye to eye. They butted heads, and their personality.
Steve Smith over the middle, spinning inside the red zone, finally tackled at the 7-yard line, and this looks like an entirely different Carolina Panthers offense this afternoon.
Steve Smith, again, that big play guy, he brings confidence to this entire team. He's just going to run into this open spot in the zone. You see they're trying to play a linebacker, Shelton Quarles, on him. He just runs around Quarles, and there's nobody else in the middle of the field. Steve Smith looks like he still has that speed and that burst. And who needs training camp, I guess, huh?
A 29-yard reception for Steve Smith, who rotates out now for Kerry Colbert, split to the left. DeLome flips it back to Deshaun Foster, and there is a whistle.
Timeout, Tampa Bay. This is their first.
That's a straight confusion timeout. You saw the disarray among the linebackers, so Gruden takes time as Carolina's knocking at the door.
What are you going to get there?
The Ford Freestyle crossover. More than 500 miles on a tank of gas.
Jacksonville 2 on Monday night. Thank you, JB. It's a 1st and 10 handoff, and here comes Travis Henry, who gets a nice block from Gibbons and is finally tackled by Crowder, and the gain is for a first down to the 27-yard line on a gain of 12. So they get Bennett with the nice reception, a 12-yard gain on the ground here by Travis Henry.
And this is what Travis Henry likes to do. He likes to bounce runs to the outside edge, and then he puts his head and shoulders down at the end. For a smaller back, he's a powerful runner.
1st and 10, 27-yard line. Lendale White is in the backfield, the rookie out of USC for the Tennessee Titans. Good block by Roos. And Scaife with a one-handed grab and a touchdown. What a catch. And the Titans have gone up on Miami on a 27-yard strike. Tillman was beaten.
And when you're struggling offensively, a great throw and great catch can get you going. And that was a great throw by Kerry Collins. You just watch Scaife. He's working down the seam. Zach Thomas is in coverage. And that is a great throw and a great one-handed catch by Bo Scaife.
The first pass to a tight end today. And Scaife is a terrific story.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Ford. Bold moves. They happen every day. By FedEx, for all your shipping needs. By Guinness Draft Stout, drink responsibly, brilliant. And by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way.
Well, 1st and goal for Carolina, and for those guys apparently at a nearby beach, it's been Steve Smith out there for 17 of 20 plays run by the Panther offense, putting an end to all the speculation about his hamstring and some of the other discussion going on in Charlotte during the week. Deshaun Foster to the 4.
See, when Steve comes to the sidelines, he's got that stick massaging those hamstrings. That was the left one that he hurt early in camp, and then the right one. But watch Chris Draft, number 52. He's like, hey, stick might have some magic. I'll try it too. Try it on my hamstrings. Maybe it'll make me run faster.
2nd and goal now for Carolina.
Hey, everybody's looking for an edge.
Chris Mangum checks in at tight end for the Panthers. The Lomas had precious few red zone opportunities this year. The reverse, it's Keyshawn around the corner. Breaks a tackle, touchdown Carolina. And of all the indignities to the Bucs, it's Keyshawn again.
Wow, how about that? And Keyshawn's not a guy that you would expect to run a reverse. Normally that's going to be one of those speed guys, whether it's Steve Smith or Drew Carter or maybe even Kerry Colbert. Keyshawn is the slowest one out of the bunch. No one expects him to get that reverse, and there's nobody out there.
Carolina on the verge of opening up what is easily their biggest lead of the season. The KCPA makes it 17-0 Panthers. What's Keyshawn going to do to him next?
Super Duty, the most capable pickup in America. Bold moves. They happen every day.
You know, FedEx gave us solutions for all our domestic shipping needs. Maybe we should go international.
Well, FedEx has been in China for over 20 years.
Hey, Bill, put a push pin in China. Bill, that's Russia. That's Greenland, Bill. You have no idea where China is, do you? Whoa!
FedEx, shipping to over 200 cities in China.
Welcome to the 3rd Street Saints.
Rated M for mature. Saints Row, play solo or team up on Xbox Live.
You ready for this, player?
X-Men, The Last Stand, with 3 alternate endings. Own it October 3rd. Fox tonight. The 4 fathers of comedy aren't just good.
It's all good.
Run for your hives on a new Simpsons.
Call my allergist and my optometrist.
Then American Dad goes soul-searching. The heat wave of the century strikes Family Guy.
Oh, that's nice. Now tell me I'm scum.
And the war at home goes geek. All new episodes.
Viewer discretion advised. That's how you know they're good.
Starting at 8, 7 Central tonight on Fox.
Rarely confused with a multi-purpose back is Keyshawn Johnson, but he scored his second career rushing touchdown on a 4-yard reverse to make it 17-0 Carolina. Panthers have done a great job balancing their offense. Jason Baker to kick it away. Pittman and Graham are deep, and it's Michael Pittman once again at the Tampa Bay 5. A flag on the return as Pittman is tackled out of bounds and dragged down at the 40-yard line.
During the return of the kick, holding, receiving team number 52. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Antoine Cash guilty of the hold on the return for Tampa Bay.
Let's go back to the touchdown. The guy that makes it all happen is the center, Jeff Handgartner. Watch him have to fight through all the traffic and the influence blocks right there. And then he's going to get out and lead Keyshawn, and watch the block he puts on Rondé Barber right there. Allows Keyshawn to jump back inside and get into the end zone.
It's been a pick and 3 and outs for the Tampa Bay offense so far. Cadillac Williams makes the catch out of the backfield and taken out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Let's check in with Jay Glazer.
Guys, so far the story has been Keyshawn Johnson's return here. Before the game, I said, is there going to be anything with Ewan Brewer? And he said, no, I have nothing to do with him. He has nothing to do with me. He said, the only thing that really ticked me off about that whole thing is the embarrassment it caused my family. You know, my kids could look at me as a villain. My mom could look at me as a villain. Said, I just didn't deserve this. I said, Keyshawn, you took your coach behind closed doors and read him the riot act. He said, yeah, but that's just me. Back to you guys.
Cadillac Williams for a first down. Chris Gamble makes the tackle for Carolina, and maybe this is the long-awaited rushing game of the Bucs finally materializing.
And going back to Keyshawn, don't think that he didn't have some extra incentive. He may say publicly that, no, it's just another ball game, but as a player who went back to a former team, meaning myself, you always want to go back and play well. And right now, he's got the upper hand by far on John Gruden.
First down, play action from Sims. A check down completion to Mike Allstott for little or no gain. Perhaps a loss on the play as Niall Diggs came in to make the tackle for Carolina. Diggs making his first appearance, his first start after coming over in the preseason from Green Bay.
And the problem there is if you're going to drop the ball off to a back in the flat, you've got to do it quicker, because the longer you hold the ball, the longer the defense has to get in their zone drops. They're going to sit down, they're going to square up, and they're going to read your eyes. And now you drop it off to them, they rally.
Michael Pittman takes a delayed handoff for a modest gain up the middle. Colin Branch made the hit for Carolina.
You know what teams have done so far this year to Chris Sims is they haven't played any man-to-man coverage. They've only seen one play of man-to-man coverage in 2 ball games. They're just sitting back in their zones. They're watching his eyes because he's not looking anybody off, and then they're trying to jump the routes.
3rd and 8. Fletcher 0 for 3 on 3rd down so far today. And out of the 3-receiver set, Sims back with time, and the pass is batted away. Tried to get it to Ike Hilliard, but a flag on the play. They might get Chris Gamble on PI here.
Prior to the pass, illegal hands to the face, defense number 31. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, they actually called the rookie corner Richard Marshall on that. Let's take a look at it again.
Now they're just jamming the wide receivers. Richard Marshall working against Michael Clayton. Just going to get his hands up in the face mask right there of Michael Clayton. But you see, he's got Clayton covered. Chris Gamble's all over Ike Hilliard on those short routes. Those corners are just going to sit on those routes.
Cadillac pitches it back to Sims. They look down the field. They've got a wide open tight end. Alex Smith, the second-year tight end out of Stanford, a pass-catching specialist, finally generates a little love here in Tampa.
Well, if you can't get it done just lining up and trying to drop back and throw it, you try some gadgets. Now they're just going to fake the lead to Cadillac. He's going to throw it back, and Chris Sims throws the ball. He gets a hit right here, takes a big shot, but they're able to make a play. So hopefully that's going to give this offense some confidence, because they're really struggling up until that point.
Kendall Moore had applied that hit right as Sims threw the football. Hand to Williams. He bounces and spins. A flag down on the play as Cadillac is tackled at the 35-yard line. It's been a bad back for Cadillac the first 2 weeks of the season.
Offside. Defense number 93 was in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
The veteran end, Mike Rucker. Getting Cadillac going has been, first on the to-do list for John Gruden all week. He had a good week's worth of practices, but had only 59 yards after the first 2 weeks of the season.
Here comes the blitz by Carolina. Now they're going to check out of it and drop back.
Sims with the quick drop, a lot of time, and he throws it away.
Talked about Cadillac finally being healthy, and he told us he's ready to go this year.
But Cadillac has had a couple of rough starts as compared to the huge rushing total that he started with last year. He's got shoes and gloves in the Hall of Fame in Canton as he became the first rookie to rush for better than 100 yards in his first 3 NFL games. But this year, just 59 yards after 2 compared to what he had done this time last year. It's been a rough start and a flag prior to the snap. And big Chris Jenkins got a little froggy.
Encroachment. Defense, number 77. This 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
Second penalty on the Carolina defense called on this drive, and another first down for Tampa Bay. This has been the longest sustained drive of the afternoon for Tampa. 6 plays, 55 yards. Cadillac again. Tampa Bay's longest rush of the year in the first 2 games was just 7 yards. That one good for 8 and a new season high.
And he looks like he's feeling much better because he's hitting the hole. When his back was sore and had those spasms, he really wasn't hitting the hole like he's accustomed to. And, you know, funny thing, we talked to him yesterday. He was telling us, we were asking him, after last year, your great start, everybody was giving you all these free gifts and Cadillacs and bikes. And, you know, what about this year? He said, after 59 yards in 2 games, I had to give all that back.
Mike Allstott takes the carry. Yeah, Cadillac really didn't let the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year honor change the way he goes about his day. Still loves fast food. Still loves to hang out with his pals.
He put on about 5 pounds, got a little bigger. I told him that he's still a young guy. He's only his 2nd year in the league. I told him to take it from me. Once you get a little older, you got to leave that fast food alone. It's going to put bad weight on him.
3rd and 1 now. A first down and more. Mike Allstott broke free. Mr. Buccaneer ahead for a Tampa Bay first down.
You can see how one play gives the whole offense a lot more confidence. They ran that gadget play, that pitch back, big pass play down to Alex Smith, and since then, they've been able to get some things together. Mike Allstott, the big fullback, just hits it up inside. And that's what you call an arm tackle.
10th play of the drive after the 8-yard gain by the 6-time Pro Bowler. Play action. Sims has a target. Touchdown Tampa Bay. They're in the end zone for the first time this year. Joey Galloway. And you can hear them sighing a breath of relief all the way from Clearwater.
And none more so than Chris Sims. That's a big relief and a big weight off his shoulder. You see everybody's congratulating him. There's Paul Hackett, there's Tim Rattay, there's everybody's coming over trying to congratulate Chris Sims, letting him know that they're still behind him.
The point after by Matt Bryant makes it a 17-7 lead for Carolina. So much for your defensive matchup.
He had the chic shave.
I was a starter ever since, and so opportunities are seldom perfect, but I've learned that if you're not ready for them, they may not come again.
Is that pretty good patience? You think he didn't know that he was probably the 3rd option, so he had to time his route accordingly? Perfect job by Hines Ward.
Ward's first catch. You see it today, 6 for 6. 3rd down. First down, cutting again, right side, Parker. Tripped up by the ankles by Delta O'Neal with a gain of 2. We're 30 seconds away from the 2-minute warning.
Well, you know, I watched coaches on the sidelines when certain
Mathis and Dwight Freeney are just teeing off.
We saw the Jaguars open the game with an 11-play drive. This is the 11th play of this drive. Left one for Taylor. And Taylor can't get away at the 5-yard.
Straight at the Jets' 36-yard line.
Got it.
Do you have everything?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get started.
With Microsoft software, you've got what you need in the palm of your hand.
Does it make phone calls too?
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Schick Quattro Titanium. The power of 4 meets titanium.
Let's go back to the touchdown. We saw Tampa Bay running this play on Friday, in practice on Friday. Watch Ken Lucas, the corner. He's going to run in here. This is his responsibility. And watch where Joey Galloway runs. Right to Ken Lucas's responsibility, because Lucas jumps up in the line of scrimmage trying to stop the run. That's not his job. His job is to play pass defense first. You can see they just throw the ball right over the top of him.
Sims to Galloway, puts the Bucs on the board. He gets a little positive reinforcement from Coach John Gruden.
He wasn't yelling at him there, was he, Matt?
I think he was pleased. Calm. Little bobble on the return. Brad Hoover brings it out beyond the 20. 17-7 Panthers.
All right, let's do this.
93, 94, 95.
Come on, man.
96.
Live NFL. Drink Diet Pepsi.
He popped another one.
Get full from Taco Bell's value menu.
I'm full!
Introducing Taco Bell's half-pound value menu lineup. Now fill up on any of 3 hefty half-pound burritos. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
Ford Super Duty, the most capable pickup in America. Bold moves. They happen every day.
This Wednesday at 9/8 Central.
Need help!
When a young girl loses her mother.
Give me an amount that makes up for making a 14-year-old girl an orphan.
Will justice be served?
I don't want money. I want them to go to jail for killing my mom.
A must-see new Justice After Bones at 9/8 Central, Fox Wednesday.
An all-new Till Death explores the age-old question.
Build something with your wood.
That sounds like a wood ultimatum.
Who really wears the pants in the family?
You're wearing my shorts.
Till Death, all new, part of a full hour at 8/7 Central, Fox Thursday.
Receivers have been the story so far in Tampa. Steve Smith returns. Joey Galloway and Keyshawn Johnson have each scored touchdowns. 2 for Keyshawn, and there's certainly a connection between those two.
Yeah. Keyshawn was actually traded for Joey Galloway. That's how Galloway got to the Buccaneers.
Delhomme up top for the big ball. He's got a receiver behind coverage. And it's swatted away. That one dangerously close to being intercepted. Drew Carter, the intended receiver. Second game of our doubleheader is coming up on Fox as the Jay Feely Bowl takes place in Seattle. The pregame show guys have been there all morning, sucking down lattes and cranking Pearl Jam. It's the Giants and Seahawks, the second game of our doubleheader, coming up right after the Panthers and Bucs.
The big game last year up there in Seattle. That 12th man, the crowd up there in Seattle was really in full effect last year. The Giants, I think, had 11 false start penalties and complained to the league about it. And the league has sent some representatives up there to monitor the crowd.
Quick pass to Steve Smith on the sideline, and nothing doing this time as Derek Brooks was on it. The 9-time Pro Bowler and Pro Bowl MVP this past season made the quick stop for Tampa Bay.
When we talked to Derek Brooks yesterday and we asked him about the troubles that this defense is having, and he said, they're a veteran group. They've all been together for a long time, and he thought that, they all try to do a little too much. And normally you get that with young guys who don't really know what to do. But he said they're a veteran group. Everybody understands their role so well. He thinks they were trying to expand it and do too much. They've got to get back to basics.
We got a whistle and a timeout taken by the Panthers. On 3rd and 10, they had Deshaun Foster split out wide, and Delhomme wants to chat on the sideline. I think Jake senses the urgency here on this 3rd down play after the momentum really changed on Tampa Bay's first touchdown of the year.
And talking about Derek Brooks and the things that he told us in our meeting yesterday, he said they've got to get back to being the defense they were. And he's as big a part of this defense as anybody. He's had over 100 tackles in 10 straight seasons. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's done it all.
For the Orange, leads all linebackers, making his 176th start, most among current NFL linebackers, a 9-time Pro Bowler. And only 3 linebackers in NFL history have gone to more consecutive Pro Bowls than Derek Brooks.
And look at all the Hall of Famers there. Junior Seau at the top of the list, a future Hall of Famer, but everybody on that list will be in the Hall of Fame, including Derek Brooks.
Big 3rd and 10 play intended for Steve Smith. He is overthrown. He was triple covered on the play. There is a flag down. Will Allen was doing a little talking after the incompletion. Carolina acting like they're going to get to hang on to the football here.
At the conclusion of the play, taunting defense number 26, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It was Will Allen indeed who, after the play was incomplete, did some chirping, and they're going to get him for the taunting penalty.
You're going to see this ball is way overthrown. They're going to get off the field, but then watch Will Allen, number 26 right there. There's no excuse for that. There's no reason for it. He didn't even do anything. He's just standing around, and he's the guy that's running his mouth and gets the penalty, and now they give Carolina another set of downs. That's one of those things that coaches hate because it's an unforced error, it's a mental mistake, and normally those things lead to points for the other team.
So 1st and 10 for Carolina. Hand off to Deshaun Foster, dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. But, getting back to that previous play, JC, again, that's the impact of having Steve Smith on the field. Nothing against Kerry Colbert or Drew Carter, but it's unlikely that they draw that kind of emotion out from a young secondary guy like Will Allen.
Well, Steve Smith, he's a talker himself. Everybody knows that. He's super competitive, and he's going to talk also, and they know that. So whenever you get a chance to play against a guy like that who is the best in the league, you think you've got to take your game there also. You've got to out-talk him.
2nd and 10 play action. Delhomme down the middle of the field, and he really overthrew Keyshawn Johnson there. So that'll bring up another 3rd and 10 for Carolina.
And Will Allen, he's got to get control of himself. He got the penalty against Steve Smith, and on that last play, he's running up there trying to hit Keyshawn Johnson. If he just looks at the ball, that ball is coming right to him. That's an interception and a turnover. Instead, he's looking at Keyshawn trying to get the big hit.
Last year, Carolina was a top 10 team on 3rd and 10 plus. This year, 2 of 25, including the preseason. 3rd and 10 here. The Bucs bring the blitz. Delhomme has a pocket and a receiver. First down, Carolina. Keyshawn Johnson again. A gain of 14. That gives Keyshawn a game-high 70 receiving yards this afternoon.
Well, it's good protection. They give Jake Delhomme time to throw the ball, but they've taken Tampa out of what they do best, and that's playing cover 2. They're not good man-to-man corners. You can see Keyshawn Johnson just comes down on Rondé Barber, just runs that in route and catches the first down. These corners And these defensive backs are zone guys. They play a lot of cover 2 and cover 3. When you make them have to play man-to-man, they struggle.
D'Angelo Williams checking in for Carolina, and he is hitting the backfield with extreme prejudice. Derek Brooks put the kibosh on that play.
And again, if you're going to blitz your linebackers and try to bring heat, your guys outside have to be man-to-man guys, and they have to cover. Watch Derek Brooks. He's going to walk up, and he's just going to come. And when you're going to bring that kind of heat, you've got to play man-to-man coverage. And that's not what Tampa Bay likes to do. But right now, they're in a situation where they feel like they have to get out of their game plan, make some adjustments in order to stop this Carolina offense.
So Deshaun Foster checks back in for Carolina. The 9th play of the drive and a fumble. The ball's loose. Foster picked it up, breaks a couple of tackles, and salvages maybe returning to the line of scrimmage. Let's check in with Chris Rose for a game break in Los Angeles. Chris.
All right, Matt. Carson Palmer facing the Steelers for the first time since suffering that devastating knee injury. Here he finds Chris Henry to complete a 97-yard drive. Steelers and Bengals tied at 7. Back to Matt, JC, and the Glaze.
To figure a low-scoring game there. 17-7 here in Tampa Bay. Not what the experts may have thought in Week 3. And a big 3rd and 13 for Carolina. Delhomme on play action again down the middle of the field. Incomplete. That was intended for Steve Smith. Good coverage by the linebacker Shelton Quarles.
There's a fight going on out there.
Well, you don't think the emotions in the NFC South have asserted themselves after this division's been in existence for a few years? These two teams don't like one another at all.
And that's an understatement. When we talk to guys on both sides of the field, no one had anything really nice to say about the other one. They know that this is a big, physical, intense rivalry, probably more so than any other team in the NFC South.
Mark Jones back to receive the punt. At the 17-yard line, he drops the football and gets clipped immediately. A flag on the play as well. Kevin McAdam made the hit on special teams for Carolina.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 27. This penalty will be assessed half the distance to the goal. First down.
A reminder, on October 3rd, Fox Sports is once again your home for the most dramatic, compelling, and heartbreaking month in sports, beginning with the Division Series, then exclusive coverage of the Championship Series and the World Series. It all unfolds on Fox. The Major League Baseball postseason begins October 3rd only on Fox. The New York entries already know they'll be playing in the fall. Oakland's magic numbers down to 2. The Tigers lead the Central by a 1.5 games in that hotly contested AL Central. Great postseason races. Another whistle before the snap here.
They had a ball that came on the field on the far side, so they had to stop play and get that ball back off the field.
Yeah, enough with the punt, pass, and kick competition going on out there in preparation for sideline halftime fun. 1st and 10 as the Bucs start this drive pinned near their goal line. They hand a Cadillac up to the 12-yard line. Chris Gamble came in from corner to apply the tackle for Carolina. Boy, the passing yardage certainly favoring Delhomme and the Panthers today. And until that last Bucs drive, total offense was really stacked in favor of Carolina.
What they can't do here is get too conservative because there's still a lot of time left in the half. Punt the ball away and give Carolina good field position.
On 2nd and 5, Galloway was smoked as soon as he caught the football. Thomas Davis with a vicious hit. And the pass is incomplete at the 2-minute warning here in Tampa Bay.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Visa. Go on, live life. And remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa.
Gorman. Ball dying in Dwight's arms at the 32, and he runs it out of bounds at the 35.
Plays, and man, he has been just perfection in this quarter.
Look at the formation, how close they're in. You're thinking it's going to go outside, but what's the route? They go up, and he comes to the back of the end zone. Nobody in the middle. Carson Palmer sees it. That is really just good thinking, going against the grain, show them something, and do the opposite. That's why Chris Henry was open.
With only 5 seconds in the half. Drop to the knee by Kershke. We'll have one more snap. Chad Johnson's going in early.
And you know, Jim, we can't say one play is going to affect the whole game, but I
bring him down.
Adam, eyes here.
Fox Tuesday at 8. An autistic boy is dying.
You want to survive 3 days.
But the secret that will save him
You have to tell me.
is trapped in his mind.
What? Is his heart okay?
No.
It's the medical mystery with an ending so bizarre.
Hello, my buddies.
You can't miss it.
Liver cells under his arm. Wonder what he's got where his liver's supposed to be.
House, all new at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
FedEx presents the Air and Ground NFL Players of Week 2. Eli Manning threw for 371 yards. Peyton Manning threw for 400. But with a 148 passer rating, the winning quarterback from Week 2 was Rex Grossman. Warwick Dunn rushed for 134 yards. Frank Gore ran for 127. But Rudy Johnson was last week's winning running back with 145 yards. Vote for the FedEx Air and Ground NFL Players of the Week at FedExFootball.com.
Keyshawn Johnson lost his beach privileges a couple of years ago when they sent him out. And on 3rd and 7, a flag at the snap here for Tampa. Keyshawn has come back.
Start, offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Sean Mahan at right guard for the Bucs. The 4th-year man out of Notre Dame will set Tampa Bay back 5 yards and make this a 3rd and call at 11.
And again, this is not good. The Panthers are going to be getting up the field, trying to get pressure on him. And better block Julius Peppers here. This is a situation where he's just going to pin his ears back, and he's going to try to get up the field.
Sims has some time, and he's got a receiver overthrowing Joey Galloway. So that'll bring the punting unit on for Tampa Bay. And Josh Bidwell is going to have to kick it away from the end zone.
And Carolina's going to get great field position here with still a lot of time left in this first half. So they may have an opportunity with this great field position to get some more points on the board right before the half.
Chris Gamble back deep for Carolina. The 4th 3 and out of the afternoon by the Bucs offense. Good field position. How about fantastic field position as Delhomme in the offense will take the field at the 39-yard line. We remind you to stay with us for the Visa Halftime Show coming up on Fox. Our Kurt Menefee, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league. The Fox Sports Ticker will be at work. Learn about your fantasy league. Learn about Cincinnati with a 14-7 lead in Pittsburgh, among other big games happening early today. A golden opportunity here for the Panthers to punch in an additional score before half. Deshaun Foster waiting for a block and a gain of a couple before being tackled by Shelton Quarles.
And some people might think that that's a conservative play call, running the ball there on 1st down. inside of 2 minutes, but they feel like once they get it to the 35-yard line, they're in scoring position. They feel like they can at least kick a field goal from there, so they're going to take care of the ball.
Carolina with 2 timeouts remaining, and the quick pass is dropped by Steve Smith. You know, again, Steve Smith not only active, not only starting today, JC, but making an impact and out there for most of the plays that the Panthers have run today.
And just by him being on the field, he's going to give the Panthers confidence, but also that Tampa defense has to be aware of where he is at all times because he's such an explosive guy. Now, is he 100%? No, but Tampa Bay doesn't know that, so they've got to respect it.
2nd and 7 now. They split Keyshawn out wide right.
There's Steve Smith.
And they move Brad Hoover out wide the other way. Delhome's pass is caught by Foster out of the backfield, close to a first down before Derek Brooks can make another tackle for the Bucs.
Gain of 5. 4th down, 2.
Called a gain of 5 on the play. You know, at the beginning of this game, we were unsure how much of Steve Smith we were going to see. It was, again, a game-time decision. And then you hear he's going to start, and you think, oh, you know, he's going to be in there for 1-2 possessions. Not the case today.
Well, he only practiced half of the practice on Thursday and half of the practice on Friday. So, you know, who needs training camp? He didn't really practice in training camp. He didn't play in the first 2 ball games, so really he's gotten 2 half days of work in, and he's come out here and he's made plays and he's helped his team. So, you know, that's going to bring up that old conversation of those older veterans out there. They're going to say, hey, Coach, why do we need training camp? Steve came out, he played well. Let's take it easy some.
Well, offensive coordinator Dan Henning told us it's been so long. We forget what it's like to have Steve Smith with us. Let's check in with Jay Glazer.
Well, guys, Steve Smith looks like he's healthy out there today. The one thing that not only Smitty but Coach Fox is worried about as well is whether or not he starts favoring that other hamstring. As you guys said earlier in the broadcast, he hurt it in training camp. We want to hope that he doesn't re-injure that as well.
John Casey for 50, and John Casey has been phenomenal this year. 2 for 2 this afternoon, 6 out of 6 on this season. And Carolina increases their lead to 20-7. Tonight, Fox Sundays back with all new episodes of The Simpsons, American Dad, and Family Guy, and The War at Home. It all starts tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. Kickity. An appropriate way to send it back down to Jay Glazer.
Hey, Matt, let me just clarify what I was talking about. Smitty actually thought that his current hamstring injury may have been caused by him favoring the hamstring injury that he had in camp. So it becomes somewhat of a vicious catch-22. When you're favoring one, well, the other one starts to go. When that one goes, well, you start favoring the original one, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth, much like what happened to Brian Urlacher 2 years ago for the Bears.
Well, yeah, that is what happened, Jay. I had some history with hamstring problems, but not for the same reason. Steve Smith does it because he's so fast. I don't know why mine happened, but but yeah, that is the problem. And really, it's a mental thing because you're worried about pulling it, so you're a little conservative. You don't want to just explode and try to burst and take off too quickly because you think you may pull it again. So he's got to get over the mental block of that.
The Bucs have 50 seconds left in the second half. They'll take it out at the 20-yard line. We remind you the Visa halftime show comes up as soon as we go to halftime here at Raymond James Stadium. Kurt Menefee will have all scores and highlights from the early games today.
And, you know, Matt, I give that last field goal by the Panthers. I chalk that up to the defense. They came in. They had a great series. They held Tampa Bay down in there, deep in their own territory. They forced a punt, gave the ball to their offense on their own 41-yard line. They're on Tampa's 41-yard line. Excuse me.
Chris Draft faked the blitz. The hand is to Cadillac Williams. Nowhere to run. Julius Peppers there to make the stop alongside Al Wallace.
And you see those guys aren't satisfied either. Watch at the end of this run. Watch Julius Peppers. He's going to try to strip the ball out of Cadillac's hands. Watch Julius. See that right hand? He tries to strip that ball out of there. That's what all defenses are taught now. In practice, they're always thinking turnover, whether it's a tip pass, if you can strip the ball away from a runner. Turnovers are so big for a defense that you see what happened on first play of the game after the interception.
So the Bucs will let the first half wind down. An impressive offensive showing by the Carolina Panthers. In their first 2 games this year, they combined to score 19 points. Today, in one half in Tampa, a 20-7 lead for the Panthers.
And again, the only time the Buccaneers got anything going offensively was with the trick play. The throwback down to Alex Smith, and then they were able to get some things going. But you take that one drive away, and they haven't done anything. They've got to go back in the locker room. They've got to regroup, figure out what's going on, and see if they can get some drives together the second half.
Halftime in Tampa. We remind you to stay with us at halftime. We'll send it to Kurt Menefee in Seattle on the road for the Visa halftime show. And Jay Glazer during halftime is going to tear up his shirt and a la Senator John Blatarski swing from the pirate ship in the short time we have here before the start of the third quarter. I'd pay good money to see that, by the way. In fact, Glaze is making a beeline for the Buccaneer pirate ship as we speak. 20-7 Carolina. So much for the defensive struggle some anticipated between 2 0-2 teams here in Tampa Bay. Carolina making a statement here in week 3. Stay with us. The Visa halftime show.
Touchdown maker has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Bills defense that just
strike. We're tied up at 7-all. And then another touchdown later to Chris Henne. This one, a 3-yard version. Right side, out of the wing, quick slant over the middle. Touchdown, 3-yarders. It is Cincinnati Bengals now. 14-7, halftime. Bengals over the Steelers.
Both teams won the last 4 in that matchup.
Tulane man, J.P. Lossman at the helm. Looks left, guns a little quick hitch. There it is, Roscoe Parrish. Turn on that speed, young man. 51 yards later, it's a touchdown. Now it's
his career long kick is 45. Bears on the Viking 42. 22 seconds to go. Out of timeouts. And Grossman going to the sideline. And let's see if there's a catch. And Muhsin Muhammad kept both feet in, and the Vikings are complaining. Antoine Winfield says he did not have control.
Yeah, he turned around and pointed to his coaching staff and said to look up at the Jumbotron so you can take a look at this. He never established control before he rolled out of bounds.
And it's under 2 minutes. It can't be a challenge. It has to come from upstairs inside the 2-minute warning. But it looked like Muhammad did not have control.
He established control once he got out of bounds.
We will review the previous play.
Everybody in this whole stadium was looking over that Jumbotron to see the replay, guys.
You can see it's loose there, but he actually does a great job here of getting his hand underneath, but he never establishes complete control until he's out of bounds.
The clock, of course, stopping with 17 seconds to go, and you can see Brad Childress in the background pointing upstairs and saying he did not have control. And so they are checking it out now.
The Toyota 4Runner. With downhill assist control, it's always adventure season. Now get $2,000 cash back plus the Sport Package discount for a total savings of $3,500 on the Toyota 4Runner. Toyota, moving forward.
Make it a good day every day with the most powerful name in morning news.
The Visa Halftime Report is sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Life takes Visa.
Anticipation building here in Seattle for Game 2 of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, but Game 1s are already rolling. Kurt Menefee, Terry Howie, and Jimmy. Take it away, Terry.
All right, Mississippi's favorite son, Brett Favre at the helm for the Green Bay Packers. Looks, 3rd and 5 on the Packer 25. Hits Greg Jennings coming inside. Reverse spin by Jennings. He takes it to the house, 75-yard. Great job of running. Touchdown pass, 400 on the career for Brett Favre. Second place behind, you got it, Dan Marino. 1st and 10 on the Pack 20 or 42-yard line. Kitna to Roy Williams, corner of the end zone, 42-yard strike. Packers 17-14 over the Lions, that at the half.
Packers have won 9 of the last 11 matchups between the two.
Washington, excuse me, I got hit.
Yeah, Minnesota want to get that in. The Vikings trying to go 3-0. They're up 6-3 over the Bears late in the first half.
Oh, now Washington. Clinton Portis, welcome back. Missed last week's game, takes a shovel pass. This one from Mark Brunell. Turns on the speed, got a bad shoulder, left shoulder. Look for a block downfield, picks it up, finally knocked out of bounds after a gain of 74 yards. It is 7-all at this point. That led to a Liddell bet touchdown of 9 yards. Brunell out of the backfield to Antoine Randall, 23-yard touchdown. Washington getting their offense in gear, lead this game at the half, 21-7 over the Houston Texans. Welcome back, Steve Smith. Carolina at Tampa. It's Steve Smith. First play from scrimmage, though, on the Tampa Bay 31-yard line. Jake Delhomme to Keyshawn Johnson. 31-yard strike, 7-0 Panthers over the Buccaneers. Now 2nd and goal on the 4 in the second quarter. Wing right. Johnson then on a reverse. Takes it in from 4 yards out. Carolina getting their offense going. It is 20-7 now. It is the Panthers over the Buccaneers. That is at the half.
Keyshawn's first 2-touchdown game since he left Tampa Bay.
Jacksonville at Indy. 3rd and 3 on the Colts for Brunette. Leftwich looking right, looking left. Scrambles up the middle. 4-yard touchdown run, 7-0. It is Jacksonville over the Colts. Second quarter, Jacksonville punts. Terrence Wilkins, he receives it at the 18. Watch this, Jimmy. Jimmy, can you walk this far? I'm not sure. 82 yards later, we got ourselves a touchdown. We got ourselves a heck of a ball game. At the half, it is Jaguars and the Colts all tied up at 7-all. Joey Porter of the Steelers talking to Chad Johnson. He shaved off the mohawk. I kind of like it, Chad. Willie Parker out of the eye at the 3-yard line. Touchdown run. Steelers up 7-0 over Cincinnati. Carson Palmer, it's a little fade route. Chris Henry, 16-yard reception. Touchdown, 7-all. And then later on, Chris Henry now will take this. You got eye left. Looking left, en route at the goal line. 3-yard strike. That one from Palmer. Henry second on the day. 14-7. Bengals on the road. They lead the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the New York Jets at the half on top of Buffalo by 4, while the Tennessee Titans visit Miami.
Got a little huddle. Got some love going on. Got to win this one, fellas. Kerry Collins to Bo Scaife. 27-yard. What a grab by this young man. It is the Tennessee Titans. They are leading this game 7-3 over the Miami Dolphins.
All right, Jimmy, Carolina down in Tampa. Looks like they've straightened things out.
Well, a highly motivated Keyshawn Johnson wants to do something to John Gruden and Tampa. He's got 2 touchdowns, but 2 very desperate football teams. What's interesting, Carolina, 20 points, 176 total yards against that Tampa defense. And what happened to that Tampa defense? Used to be so good.
Well, you looked at Green Bay, Brett Favre. A lot of people asking questions. Has it passed Brett Favre by? Well, no. Today's any indication. 5 for 9 on third down conversions. Over 100 yards. Greg Jennings, a wide receiver. You give him time. You give him the weapons. He can make it happen. Particularly on the road, it's a difficult place to play.
All right, second half of your game coming your way next as the Visa halftime report continues.
Proud sponsor of the NFL.
The Buick Model Year-End Closeout. This is when precision meets value. The last of the 06 Lucerne and LaCrosse models are available, both earning the highest possible crash safety rating and offering great fuel economy. Now get 0% interest-free financing for 60 months on remaining 06 Lucerne CX and LaCrosse models. Model Year-End Closeout. See your Suncoast Buick dealers today or visit suncoastbuick.com.
Wives love a man who's good with wood.
Let's face it, you're not a wood guy.
How dare you! And Fox Thursday, Brad Garrett is going to prove it.
A whole lot of sexy going on.
You're wearing my shorts.
Don't miss the manliest episode ever.
We are men! Let's take off our shoes! Yeah!
New, part of the Full Hour at 8, 7 Central, Fox Thursday.
The NFL and television go back nearly 70 years. This season, NFL Network invites you to a new football tradition, Thursday and Saturday night football.
With a telecast you'd expect from NFL Network, made by football people, for football people. Great matchups on the run to the playoffs. Join us for a new football tradition.
It all begins Thanksgiving night, only on NFL Network.
Keyshawn Johnson has caught a TD and run for another in a 20-7 lead for Carolina. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
The Dodgers battle for the playoffs against the Giants. Fox Saturday Baseball this week.
The world is not always a safe place. Thankfully, the ML350's brake assist is supplying full brake boost, while the electronic stability program brakes each wheel for improved stability. Accidents do happen. We just help you avoid them. And Mercedes-Benz playing it safe is a good thing.
The ML350, just one of the Mercedes-Benz SUVs with standard 4MATIC four-wheel drive. The M-Class starts at $43,455.
Hyundai is taking on Honda and Toyota with the Hyundai Challenge. We're out to prove that our new Sonata is the best value running. Here are the stats. More standard safety features and interior space than a Honda Accord. America's best warranty. And for thousands less than an Accord. You owe it to yourself to check out the fuel-efficient Hyundai Sonata. Before you spend too much on a Honda or Toyota, take the Hyundai Challenge today. Get a 2007 Sonata with up to $2,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer. But hurry, offer ends October 2nd.
Fake up the middle to the back. Hand off to Keyshawn on a reverse 4-yard touchdown run. It is Carolina now 20-7 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Keyshawn's first 2 TD games since leaving the Bucs.
Clinton Portis did not play last.
Visit your local Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Get your live Sky Tower HD Viper forecast every 10 minutes on Good Day Tampa Bay.
I've got a brilliant idea. Football with flags. Flags? Flags!
Flag football has come a long way. NFL Flag is the #1 football league for boys and girls. Sign up now at NFLRush.com.
Yeah! Flags? Flags.
Did you see that?
Week 3 in Tampa has featured the return of Steve Smith to the Panthers offense, but it's Keyshawn Johnson, the ex-Buck, who has stolen the show. He's caught a touchdown pass and on a reverse a 4-yard TD run. The Bucs offense finally finding the end zone for the first time this year as we welcome you back to Tampa Bay. At the end of half, where Carolina has a 20-7 lead, Matt Vasgersian back with J.C. Pearson, and the story really a healthy Carolina offense for the first time this year, and it's really played like one today.
And it's amazing how much difference one guy can make, but Steve Smith has brought a lot more confidence to this entire team. They're a different team in a different offense. They've been able to move the ball through the air. They haven't quite got their running game going the way they want. I expect them to do more of that in the second half.
For more on the health of the Carolina offense, let's check in with Jay Glazer.
Well, guys, head coach John Fox just said to me, Steve Smith is doing much better than they thought. However, In the second half, his thoughts are to actually sit him down for the first couple of plays, let him rehydrate, let him get that hamstring stretched out again before he throws him out there. He said, but so far, just the way he's playing, we've really seen no other reason to hold him back. The other problem they're having, they said, Derek Brooks keeps coming through untouched all the time. We have to be cognizant of that. We're having a hard time with that. As far as John Gruden's concerned, he said, look, we still have to get our ground game going. We have to get everything together. They're really good up front, but at least now that Chris Sims scored in that first half, that gets us a little bit over the hump. Back to you.
Jay, thanks. Steve Smith certainly has made an impact. And of 34 plays run by the Panthers offense in the first half, Smith was on the field for 25 of them, but on his back to start the second half as they attend to that hamstring.
And that's smart. You don't want him to get back out there cold and try to accelerate and burst and end up straining one or either both of those hamstrings.
D'Angelo Williams lets the kick bounce into the end zone. As we take a look at first half stats, certainly passing yards belong to the Panthers. They had the football a little longer, and that one turnover you see under the Bucs, that was on the first possession of the game, and it set up a one-play touchdown drive for Carolina and really set the tone for this one early.
Yeah, and you can see for Tampa Bay, they haven't really gotten anything going. They can't run the ball. Their passing yard is only 37 yards, so they've really been out of sync offensively.
Your fantasy update, and for the latest in fantasy stats, log on to foxsports.com. From the 20-yard line, the second half is underway. The pitch to Deshaun Foster with very little room back to the line of scrimmage.
Deshaun Foster on the run.
Kerry Colbert has started the second half at that receiver spot for Steve Smith. And, you know, it's not just Smith that was a little dinged up. Drew Carter, who started for Smith in weeks 1 and 2, has a broken finger on his right hand. So there are little health problems to varying degrees of seriousness throughout their receiving corps. Second and 10 now. Michael Gaines at tight end. Again, Mike Seidman was removed from the game. He was hurt in the first half. And this hand to Deshaun Foster is good for a gain of 3. Shelton Quarles makes the tackle for Tampa.
You know, it'd be interesting to see what types of adjustments the teams made at halftime. For Tampa Bay, going into halftime, they were very aggressive defensively. You see Shelton Quarles coming off the field. That's another big injury for him if he can't go, because they're already starting Barry Rude at the middle linebacker spot. He's a young second-year guy, so now they're short-handed at the linebacker position.
Drew Carter has checked in at wideout. Kerry Colbert, the man in motion for Carolina. On 3rd and 6, and Delhomme is sacked. Simeon Rice got around the corner. His first sack of the year, and a flag.
Well, Simeon Rice, even though he hurt his knee.
The ball had come loose from the quarterback. On the ground, it was fumbled, first down.
Even though he hurt his knee on Thursday, he was out running sprints on Friday, and you can see he just blows right by Jordan Gross, gets the sack and the forced fumble. That's what this team needed. They call those splash plays. Big plays, turnovers, interceptions, fumbles. Derek Brooks said they needed to get more splash plays. And that was one that they definitely wanted to get.
Is challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble.
So after the sack, they say that Delhomme lost the football before he hit the ground, and it's immediate challenge by John Fox. They'll go under the hood, and we'll be right back.
I'm open over here.
Hi, here's your pizza. This is Fudgems. He's helping us with our newest promotion. Warm brownies with fudge dipping sauce. They're free.
Free warm brownies? Oh, you're too good to be true. Oh.
I love you, Fudgems.
Oh. Oh, Fudgems. Fudge'ems.
Get 10 warm oven baked brownie squares free when you buy any large pizza at menu price.
Nissan wanted to know, what would you change about your full-size truck?
More towing capacity.
Be able to put more weight on the trailer.
We couldn't change their trucks, so we introduced ours, the full-size V8 Nissan Titan. Now get $2,750 Nissan cash back or 1% financing. Plus, make no payments until 2007 and tow up to 9,500 pounds.
It's like a dream. You couldn't do that in my truck.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You always got plenty of power.
Way to go, Nissan.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. By Domino's Pizza, get the door, it's Domino's. By Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world. And by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
His knee hitting the ground. Carolina will be charged with their first timeout.
Head official Tony Correne saying that the ruling on the field stands and it is registered as a fumble. The hit applied by Simeon Rice, and they say the fumble was recovered. We'll take a look at it again.
You can see when his knee goes down, it looks like that ball is already coming out. And there was no conclusive look to overrule that and change it.
Dwayne White made the recovery. The hand here to Cadillac Williams, his best run of the afternoon. First and goal, Tampa Bay. Oh, you talk about changing the momentum right after half. It was a turnover that started the game that swung the momentum to Carolina, and just the opposite is true here to start the second half.
That's what turnovers do for you, especially when you give the ball to your offense in great field position. And then Cadillac Williams, great job of stutter stepping, setting up Ken Lucas on the outside, and then bouncing it around the corner.
34 yards on 9 carries for Cadillac Williams, and first and goal here for Tampa Bay. Cadillac again, moving a pile. And touchdown, Tampa. A 4-yard TD run.
All started by one of those splash plays by the defense where they create the turnover, give the ball to their offense, and Derek Brooks told us in the meetings that that gives this offense energy. And they came out in that drive with a lot of energy.
Matt Bryant's point after tightens things up in Tampa. Just 2 plays, 39 seconds later, and it's only a 6-point game.
Coach. And Rex Grossman, who has completed 10 of 20 for 132.
And the players we talked to said they believe in Mark Brunell.
Guy's a 14-year veteran, knows how to win football games. He's got his star back at running back. It's made all the difference.
Here's 3rd and 2 for Washington. 6 for 8 on 3rd down in the game. 2 tight ends in. Cooley, one of them, motions. Brunell. Nobody open. Now he throws. Head completes it for Brandon Lloyd. He's got a first down. They whistle him down. They say he was down. Lloyd got. Take the sack. He'll take that, but he doesn't want any more turnovers.
And the
copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other
night. She's on. I think the knee and the ball went over at the same time. So they made a first down nonetheless, and that was the key. After it, run away.
That gives Rocco 1 for 3, and here's Delman Young. Delman reached on Jeter's error and scored a run in the 6-run fourth.
NFL Sundays, sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Four-yard touchdown run by Cadillac Williams, reminding fans in Tampa of the 05 model year that ran roughshod over opponents last season.
See how happy Cadillac is down there. Now maybe he doesn't have to spend his own money anymore. He told us he's got to get back to making some big plays so people will give him free stuff again.
D'Angelo Williams takes the kick at the 8-yard line for Carolina. Gets around the corner, breaks a couple of tackles, and is finally stuck at the 36-yard line. Is the Cadillac free on the streets?
A ball, 2 strikes. Rays and the Yankees tomorrow night. It'll be Jay Solo against Jarrett Wright. We'll be with you over the air on the Rays television network. Our coverage begins at 7. And the Rays hit the road for their final road trip of the year into Boston and Cleveland. Right side, that ball is foul. Holds the count at a ball, 2 strikes.
Just over the Checkers Bullpen Cafe.
It's a unique experience down there.
Nissan Altima Special Edition Package. 14 popular options and a $199.
And now they're gassed. I mean, you look at Anthony Weaver. Clark, who gets inside the 10, smooth on the coverage, but a 17-yard pickup. And the Bears looking rhythm offensively for the first time today, Darryl.
Yeah, we haven't seen this kind of execution.
Whopper. Triples 2 all season long.
There is a secret school.
New students press 1.
Is this a recording?
Press the damn button.
Where men with no confidence.
How many of you want to sell Pelt Book?
Are changed by a man.
Your cells suck.
With no limits.
Kill or be killed.
School for Scoundrels. Rated PG-13.
This Wednesday at 9/8 Central.
Need help!
When a young girl loses her mother.
Give me an amount that makes up for making a 14-year-old girl an orphan.
Will justice be served?
I don't want money. I want them to go to jail for killing my mom.
A must-see new Justice After Bones at 9/8 Central, Fox Wednesday.
Cadillac Williams gets the Bucs into the end zone not only for the second time this afternoon, but for just the second time this year. A 6-point game with 12:38 left in the third. Deshaun Foster, maybe a yard.
Well, we talked about Cadillac gaining 5 extra pounds in the offseason. He needs every one of those pounds here. Watch who he runs through. Big 360-pound Maake Kemoeatu, the big defensive tackle. And Cadillac Williams hits him and just keeps driving forward right into the end zone.
Found that proverbial 6th gear, if you will. That's enough with the automotive references. 2nd and 9 now for DeLone. They move Michael Gaines in motion again in there for Seidman, who was hurt in the first quarter. This is Deshaun Foster, a first down run for Carolina. So both teams struggling to run the football in weeks 1 and 2 seem to have found something today.
That's what Carolina's got to get back to. They were very effective running the football in the first half and mixing up the short passing game, and then they kind of went away from it. What they've got to do is come back and reestablish that. And one way they can do that also is by getting some quick balls outside to Steve Smith, who is now back in the game. Get him going again, even if it's some short throws. That's going to open up the running lane.
On 1st and 10, the hand is to Foster up the middle. You know, the rushing game for Carolina, and the ball is loose at the bottom of the pile now. Tampa football. Big Chris Hovan jumped on the pigskin. Tampa Bay forces another turnover.
Nissan wanted to know what.
We've had some strange ones today.
Yes, starting from the very beginning, and let's see if it's a
Chicago is challenging the ruling on the field that it is an incomplete pass.
Well, we take a quick look, even before the referee does. Looked like it got knocked loose before his knee hit the ground.
When you get every ATM fee from any machine at any bank.
Starts at
It's $24.95 a month.
and that's not.
Go to eTrade.com and be blown away. This Friday,
It's open season!
get ready for Boog.
What's up, Tiny?
What's up? And Elliot.
Are you ready for this?
This is awkward.
Yes, it is.
Open season. Rated PG. Also in IMAX 3D.
Subway Daytime Drama presents Reggie Bush in The Rookie.
I'll never play. Sure you will, kiddo. Just gotta stay hungry. But if I eat this, I won't be hungry anymore.
Eat the sandwich! Subway Restaurants. Tasty new premium steak sandwiches like the blackened Cajun steak, hot and fresh from the oven, and the new steak and cheese. Subway, eat steak!
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Subway. Yummy-licious sandwiches on freshly baked bread at Subway restaurants. Subway, eat fresh.
That big, angry Tampa Bay defensive front forcing fumbles in back-to-back Carolina offensive possessions, and Tampa Bay takes over at their 48-yard line. They keep it on the ground with Cadillac Williams.
Let's go back to the fumble. Watch Simeon Rice, number 97. He's going to get his left shoulder and his left arm and hand in on Deshaun Foster. He's going to force that fumble. That ball's going to come out. He's going to continue to work and strip that ball. You're going to see him again right here. Watch that left hand. He's going to keep fighting, and he's going to strip that ball out. Right there, you see that ball come out. Right there, and again, big splash play by this Tampa defense.
A gain of 6 on that last carry by Cadillac Williams. Sims to throw it now, and that one's batted down and almost picked off by the rookie corner Richard Marshall. Let's check in on the sidelines with Jay Glazer.
Well, guys, Simeon Rice causing those 2 fumbles. And if you ever want to stir the pot up, you ask a pass rusher who the best pass rusher in the NFL is. Before the game, Simeon said, oh, it's me. It's not even close. Julius Peppers, he's great, but he's not even in my class. So I went to Pep. I said, what do you think about that? And he said, you know what? You got to be kidding me. You can't be serious about that. Come on now, Simeon's nice, but I mean, look what I bring to the table. But Simeon afterwards said, I guarantee you'll see today I'm the best in the NFL, certainly playing like it. What do you think, JC?
Well, he's making a statement right now, that's for sure. Julius made a statement last week.
A first down reception for tight end Alex Smith. His second catch of the afternoon.
You know, you can't argue with either one of those guys' sack numbers, and Simeon's done it over a long period of time. The question always on Simeon is how tough has he been against the run? But you know he can definitely get up the field and rush the passer as good as anybody in the league.
Simeon Rice really had something to prove this afternoon. His last 3 games against the Panthers, 0 tackles. No sacks this year coming into week 3. He has certainly turned that around in about a quarter. Cadillac Williams met in the backfield and taken down by the Carolina linebacking corps for a loss. Let's check in Los Angeles with Chris Rose.
Well, man, I know Simeon Rice has been draped all over Brett Favre in the past, but today the Lions aren't getting to the Packers signal caller. Touchdown pass number 401 of his career. This one to Donald Driver. Packers up by 10, not 12, even though they just scored 2 on that dunk. Back to Matt, JC, and the Glaze.
Chris, thanks. Pack trying to rise from the ranks of the winless here in week 3 as these 2 teams are in Tampa Bay. 2nd and 13 now for Sims. A little longer time this time, and the pass is complete to Alex Smith, his second reception of the series. Chris Draft making the tackle for Carolina. Gain of 8 yards on the play.
And a good job of standing in the pocket, going through his reads, and throwing the ball by Chris Sims that time. When you give the guy time to throw the ball and he can get comfortable, he's capable of making all the throws. The problem comes when he gets pressure, and then he starts to panic a little bit, and then his bad plays continue to snowball. You can't afford to let him get comfortable.
Cadillac Williams rotates out for Michael Pittman, the lone back with Sims. Over the middle, and the pass is complete to Michael Clayton. Another Carolina first down, rather Tampa Bay first down on a gain of 14.
And a good throw by Chris Sims. Just 1, 2, 3 and get rid of the ball. The other thing is he's not having balls knocked down at the line of scrimmage. He's been struggling with that all year, but you'll see 1, 2, 3. He still holds that ball a little bit longer than he should, but still puts it right in there on Clayton's numbers for a big gain. But still, Sims has got to get rid of that quick 3-step drop pass just a half a step sooner.
Cadillac Williams back in the backfield. Clayton in motion. The hand is to Williams, trying to get around the left side and stuff. No gain on the play. There's Big Maake Kemayatu. Maake is a load. The media guide says 375. You mentioned 360 at the end of training camp. You know, when you're that big, 15 pounds, it doesn't make much of a difference when you're trying to get through that hole.
It doesn't slim you down very much. TV adds 10 pounds, so they say, but you don't need to add any more weight on that guy. He's got plenty on his own.
2nd and 8 now. Doug Jolly split wide for Tampa. Sims looking his way. And the ex-Raider is tackled near a first down.
And Sims is getting into a rhythm now, getting some confidence, getting into a rhythm, and he told us that the tight ends were going to be a big factor in the red zone. You see Jolly comes in and he makes a play for him. He said that's what they're going to look for in the red zone, and we noticed that the tight ends were catching a lot of balls in Friday's practice in the red zone.
Tampa Bay brings in their short yardage specialist, Mike Allstott. And the Bucs have taken a timeout, their first of the half. Tampa Bay on the move, trying to grab a lead for the first time this afternoon.
The editors at Motor.
If you're a fraction off, it can change everything. On the field and in the lab, where Gatorade scientists
Introducing Motor Trend's 2006 Sport Utility of the Year. Till 2007.
I love this job.
Way rebuild communities. Find out how at United Way.
Can we handle our own good fortune? Can we?
And Pinner this time returns from the goal line. And gets stopped short.
AT&T proactively identifies changes in traffic volume and high demand into big success. The new
ease their way into the lead 21-10 thanks to Kerry Rhodes' second forced fumble. Victor Hobson scoops up 32 yards officially now on the touchdown by Hobson. Jets into the wind here in the third quarter. It's Leon Washington.
New Chic Quattro Titanium stays sharp to give you a close, smooth shave with less irritation than the leading brand. It's the only razor with 4 advanced blades made with titanium.
New Chic Quattro Titanium, the power of 4 meets titanium.
Introducing the new Ultimate Cheese Snacker from KFC. 100% chicken breast smothered in a blend of cheddar and Swiss, topped with crisp lettuce freshly prepared on a sesame seed bun. And like the original KFC Snacker, it's only 99 cents. Now your dollar goes further at KFC.
First and goal with the ball on the 2-yard line for Tampa Bay as they are knocking on the door here, as they say. Been a great drive for Chris Sims. 4 of 5. Again, Mike Allstott with him in the backfield. They hand it to their all-time touchdown leader, and he is stuffed.
That's a good job meeting him at the highest point. linebackers, Chris Draft in particular, 52. Watch these guys. They're going to come forward, and then they're going to jump. They're going to try to time their jump with Allstott right there. You see Adam Seward's in the game also, and they're able to get higher than Allstott.
And on fourth and 1, Tampa Bay keeps his offensive unit on the field. They'll try to punch it in from the 2. Sims keeps it, looking for a target. Hit at the goal line. The officials haven't signaled yet, but everybody's sure acting like a touchdown. And indeed, we finally see some arms go up in the air. Touchdown Bucs, their first lead of 2006, pending an extra point.
And wait a minute, though, Matt, because that might get challenged. When Chris Sims got up into there, did he get over the pylon in bounds? Did he get knocked out of bounds?
But we're on the red flag watch. And so far, the Panthers, who are unsuccessful this year on 2 challenge, have not thrown one.
If I'm Tampa Bay, I'm hurrying up to the line and get this ball snapped.
No sign of a challenge flag, so here's Matt Bryant. $14 second half points for Tampa Bay on a pair of turnovers. And after a rocky start, Chris Sims and the Bucs lead at home.
Kevin Jones is a good down.
Chester Pitts, the left guard.
False start. Number 88 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
My apologies. It's Jeb Putzier, the second tight end.
Yet in this game. Brad Johnson comes off, and Rex Grossman getting set to re-enter.
There's just very little mark.
15-yard line. Carr being rushed. Gets it to Andre Johnson. Slips one man. That was Archuleta. At the 28, but enough for a first down for the Texans. 5th catch of the game for Andre Johnson.
Is this one of these remember me hits by Sean Taylor?
E.J. Henderson. Bears get the ball back in a tie game.
The free world will now be led by a comedian.
Whoops. On October 13th.
Have you thought what the makeup of your cabinet might be?
Bruce Springsteen.
Drive like there's no tomorrow.
I wanted to. Rated PG-13. Starts October 13th.
Chris Sims with his first regular season rushing TD.
Watch him. He's just going to roll out. He's got the option to throw it or run it. He sees there's nobody there and just dives right over the end line right there. He does. That ball does cross the plane inbounds before he lands out of bounds. That's why the Panthers never challenged that play.
21-20 Tampa. Again, Chris Gamble deep for the Panthers. For the first time all afternoon, the Panthers receive a kick trailing. This is actually D'Angelo Williams at the 2. And tackled ferociously at the 20-yard line by Will Allen. Flag on the play.
During the return of the kick, holding, receiving team number 23, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Tuesday night on Fox, catch an all-new episode of the Emmy Award-winning smash hit House at its new time, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central, right here on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, Reggie Howard was guilty of the hold on the run back. Points off turnovers have been a major story. And Carolina scored their first touchdown on a quick mini drive on an interception. But here in the second half, it's been Carolina that's given up the football twice. Deshaun Foster close to a first down. Jermaine Phillips finally forced him out of bounds after a gain of 8.
Sean Foster's had a number of good runs out here today. I'm surprised they haven't given D'Angelo Williams an opportunity or very much of one to carry the ball or catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a young guy's got some fresh legs and a lot of speed and quickness. He gave him a spark last week, and they wanted to get him the ball, but they haven't been able to do it today.
On second down now, Carolina, by the way, in this position, starting with their worst field position of the game. The pitch to Deshaun Foster with a blocker and a first down for the Panthers. Jerron Bolden applied the tackle for Tampa. So after a gain of 4, the Panthers move the chains. 1st and 10 now at the 23. And Williams back in the game for Foster. I'd say if they can get it running properly, that's a pretty good multi-back attack. Foster was 68 yards on the ground. Pass is complete to Keyshawn, but nowhere to go as he is taken out of bounds by Rondé Barber.
And that's just a play they call an alert play, where they're just going to throw the ball outside to a wide receiver and see if he can break a tackle and get down the field. They're just going to throw this alert to Keyshawn Johnson. He just turns around. Rondé Barber does a good job of coming up, making the tackle. Normally that ball is going to go to a guy like Steve Smith, who gets most of his yards after the catch. So you got to wonder if Steve Smith is healthy right now, or is he just a decoy? There he is.
On 2nd and 11, looking for Smith, wide open, all by himself, and still on his feet. There he goes. Finally tackled at the 36-yard line by Barrett Ruud, who came all the way upfield from linebacker to get him from behind, a gain of 41. And had it not been for Barrett Ruud, Steve Smith might have broken this all the way.
Well, I answered my own question, or they just did, because he's not a decoy. Again, he just runs down the sidelines in cover 2, and Jermaine Phillips is too late getting over to the sideline, allows Steve Smith to catch that ball and then turn that ball back inside. But you're going to play cover 2. Number 1, Rondé Barber's got to get up there and reroute that wide receiver and give his safety time to get over.
They have missed him in Charlotte. A 41-yard pass play, the longest of the year for Carolina, and all kinds of people moving heads at the line of scrimmage.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Jeremy Bridges at right tackle, guilty of motion on the line, so it cost the Panthers 5 yards. Some of those line problems that Dan Henning worried about through the week really haven't materialized.
Jeremy Bridges, he's been here all of 2 weeks, so he's had to learn this entire system. He's had to get used to the cadence by Jake Delhomme and still go out and play football.
Makes it 1st and 15. They pick up the blitz, an open receiver, and the pass is caught across the 30-yard line by Drew Carter. So Carter gets into the act, but Steve Smith's big play really makes the drive sing. And in fact, Smith has been involved in a lot of plays from scrimmage. They got more hamstring issues. They're stretching out Keyshawn.
And there's that stick again. He's got to rub that stick on that hamstring. It's worked for Steve Smith.
The delayed handoff. And I'm not sure if that was by design or if Deshaun Foster just had to dance out of the way. Barrett Ruud again makes the tackle for Tampa.
But what happens, Matt, is that when you have a successful first down play, which they did on that slant to Drew Carter, and it puts you in 2nd and short situations, you can have a busted play like that, gain a couple yards, and still get a first down. That's why first downs are so important. Everybody talks about 3rd down conversions. But to me, first down is really where you have to win.
D'Angelo Williams in the backfield now. Steve Smith is checked back in on 1st and 10. Into the corner and overthrown. Looking for Kerry Colbert that time. He was covered well by Jermaine Phillips. But one thing is for sure, that both offenses, in telling us during the week that they planned on spreading things out, certainly weren't lying. 7 receivers have been used. 7 Bucs have caught passes. And we've seen Delhomme look for just about everybody out of his sets.
Well, you can't get conservative, especially in a big game like this where you almost have to win the game. You can't afford to go 0-3. You've got to play. You can't be conservative. You got to play to win the game.
On 2nd and 10, looking for Keyshawn. Incomplete. As we mentioned at the top of the telecast, history has not been kind to teams starting 0-3 in terms of the playoff run. It's only happened a handful of times, and that's something that both of these teams are trying to avoid here in Tampa.
And of those 3 teams that have gone to the playoffs after starting 0-3, none of them have made it to the Super Bowl. So if you have aspirations of getting to the Super Bowl, you don't want to be 0-3.
Feels like late fall, doesn't it?
It does. And that's not to say that it can't happen, but it's awfully tough to do, and it hasn't happened yet.
Delhomme sacked. Greg Spires came around from the right end. And that might have dropped Carolina out of field goal range as well.
And he just runs around Jeremy Bridges, the guy we talked about that's only been here for all of 2 weeks. Now he's confused and he's slow off the ball. And Greg Spires just runs right around him. Jeremy Bridges, remember, he got that false start penalty, so he may be holding in there just a count too long.
From 50 yards away, John Casey has been outstanding this year.
36 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Carolina 20.
So Carolina goes back on top after another long one from Casey. We remind you to stay with us on Fox. The second game of our doubleheader is coming up next.
Off his back foot, up for grabs for Boris, and Plexico Boris has given the Giants their first win of the year.
How about that comeback last week? Philadelphia, then they win it in overtime. And now they go up to Seattle, the Giants, that is, and that's going to be a great ball game.
Pregame show guys have been there all morning.
Eating donuts.
Caffeined out.
And full of donuts. They're ready to go, huh?
And ready for kickoff there again. The second half of our doubleheader here on Fox comes at you after this one is done, and there's a lot left to be determined. Boy, after that last play, that sack that almost dropped Carolina out of field goal range, Jake Delhomme was furious on the sideline. So maybe it took a while, but some of those protection issues that Dan Henning was worried about may have started to show their head here.
Yeah, no question. He was scared to death coming in with those guys, those inexperienced guys against this experienced defensive line of Tampa. And, you know, coming in, they struggled. That defensive line did. They didn't have any sacks by their starters, but they got well today. Simeon has 2, and that time Greg Spires got a big one.
Michael Pittman back to receive the kick. He's across the 30 and across the 35-yard line. You know, Jake Delhomme has been hit a lot this year, and in fact, in over a quarter of his drops, he's been hit when he's tried to complete a pass.
Well, that's what happens when your offensive line is shuffled week in and week out. Those guys don't have time to work together and gel, and especially in pass protection. You've got to understand who your buddy next to you is going to pick up and how you're going to handle stunts and twists and blitzes. And, you know, that only comes with cohesion and working together, and they just haven't done enough of it.
30 seconds left in the quarter. And Sims on play action this time, trying to roll away from Mike Rucker and wisely throwing it away.
The key word there, Matt, is wisely. Throwing the ball away is not always a bad thing, and that's something that Coach Gruden told us. He said, This guy's got to understand that he doesn't have to make a play and force the ball down the field every time we call a pass play. If it's not there, throw the ball away. That's not always a bad thing.
2nd and 10 now for Sims. Really has been a fine line for John Gruden, too, trying not to get too far inside the head of his young quarterback. And a flag before the snap. In fact, 5 flags before the snap.
Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
Dan Benning, who made 16 starts as a rookie last year, but missed the season opener with an ankle problem this season.
And Chris Sims is taking a knee. I think he's a little dizzy, or he might be cramping up. That might be something. Obviously, something's wrong with Chris.
But we mentioned how hot it was at the start of play, and how with the heat index, we're going to be up over 100 degrees by the end of the 4th.
Exactly, and that's not good because now they've got to bring in a rookie quarterback.
Bruce Gradkowski, the 194th pick of the draft out of Toledo. And a guy whose nerves got to him in camp to the extent that he blew chow during his first exhibition game on the sideline.
Yeah, but when he threw up, it was with Chris Sims going into the game. That's how nervous he was. He wasn't even going into the game. Now he's going into the game in a huge game, a game that they have to win. So you know that that young guy is as nervous as can be.
Chris Sims is wobbly as they escort him across the sideline. Welcome to the NFL, Bruce Gradkowski. 2nd and 15. They keep it on the ground and make it a little easier for him, but nothing happening for Cadillac Williams. Mike Rucker was there to make the tackle for Carolina.
And when you get a young quarterback in the game, especially a guy who hasn't played a down yet, defensively, you're licking your chops. You're coming after that guy. That's what the Panthers have to be thinking right now. We're going to get pressure on this young kid, make sure he's uncomfortable.
Well, this one is sure taking an unexpected turn. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with Carolina up 23-21. Fox NFL Sunday returns after these messages.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
The Ford F-150 or the Toyota Tundra? With available traction control, your Tundra's gripping that ramp so tight you're not worried about yanking that boat out of there. No, let the guy in an F-150 without traction control worry about stuff like that. The full-size Toyota Tundra. Get a grip.
Now get $4,000 cash back plus the Sport Package discount for a total savings of $6,000 on the Tundra Double Cab. Toyota, moving forward.
This My Circle from Alltel Wireless is killing us.
You could choose like 10 people and all calls to them are free no matter what network they're on.
Like anyone could even have 10 friends.
Anyway, we gotta put a stop to it. Any ideas?
I got the carne asada. It's awesome.
That's genius. Well, whatever we do, we have to keep in contact.
Just don't call me until after 7, because that's when my free minutes kick in.
You guys aren't on my network, so this could get pricey.
We could send emails.
That'll show them.
My Circle, only from Alltel Wireless.
Make it a good day every day with the most powerful name in morning news.
(23-21) as we start the 4th quarter, but the Bucs, at least for another few plays, will be without Chris Sims, who, as you can see, after the penalty was called here, just escorted himself right off the field and then buckled.
Yeah, no one ever touched him. I think the heat just got to him. You can see he's calling for a sub right now, saying, hey, I'm not right. And then he just has to take a knee and wobbled off the field.
The official word is that Chris Sims cramped up, so that's why we see Bruce Gradkowski into the mix. His first NFL pass is complete to Michael Pittman for what is close to a Tampa Bay first down. And for more on Chris Sims, let's check in with Jay Glazer.
Well, you guys are right. Chris Sims did cramp up. They brought him in the locker room quickly, brought him in there, give him an IV. Hope, obviously, the saline solution could help out. Back to you.
Jay, thanks. And until then, Tampa Bay is in the hands of a rookie signal caller who is experiencing firsthand the difference between the MAC and the NFC South as a rookie.
It's a huge difference, and from the preseason. He got some time in the preseason. The regular season's a completely different deal.
Josh Bidwell's punt is caught by Chris Gamble and up ahead across the 20-yard line.
...2006 Ram Mega Cab.
My favorite email.
Beavers jump in, and again with the stop at the line of scrimmage with Larry Foote. 3rd and 10 on the way.
79.
And he's going to get buried back there. That was a beautiful punt. Tony Gilbert in on the tackle. 53-yard punt and no return.
He throws a lob. It's open to Josh Reed, and he's to the 15-yard line before Justin Miller can push him out of bounds. And here come the Bills. 31 yards on a perfectly thrown ball, having to lay it.
Defensive player, and not a guy that's stopping up the run game. He's also a great pass rusher, and you get a little bit of evidence of it right there.
That's 9 of the 10 sacks that this team has are made from their defensive line. That's a great stat.
Pretty good. Time has run out of this 3rd quarter. And Hester at the 6-yard line. And down he goes at the 12.
The Dolphins had already been running this system, and they hired Mike Mularkey away from the Buffalo Bills, and he came down here and he was forced to kind of tweak his learning a little bit and try to find a way that he could get comfortable, get on the same page.
Live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa.
Carolina's lead at halftime was much more comfortable than the 2 points they enjoy here, and that's because after a couple of turnovers, Tampa Bay really took advantage with 14 points in the 3rd quarter.
Turnovers are always key to any ball game, especially when you do it deep in your own territory. Gives the opponent's offense an easy way to go, and Tampa scores 14 points off of it.
The Lomond play action has a pass complete to Steve Smith. Rondé Barber making the tackle for Tampa. First down on a 14-yard pickup for Carolina.
And one thing we haven't seen from Steve Smith today is just those go routes where he just lines up and runs by a guy. So you have to still wonder how healthy those hamstrings are. But if you're Tampa Bay, you've got to make him do that. Sit on all the short stuff.
Deshaun Foster up to the 40-yard line before being tackled by Barrett Root, a gain of 6. Carolina has been very good over the last year plus when leading at the start of the 4th quarter. They have won 13 of their last 15 where they led after 3. Jake Delhomme has been one of the more efficient 4th quarter passers in the NFL the last 2 years. 2nd and 4 here. Plenty of time for Jake. And that pass, a wobbler, is completed by Steve Smith once again. Somebody got a piece of that ball. A pickup of 11. They move the chains again.
And you talk about that offensive line and all the interchangeable parts there and replacements, but they do a good job giving Jake Delhomme time here because this route takes a long time. Steve Smith is going to come across the field. He's going to find a hole in the zone and just sit down and catch the ball. But that play took a long time to develop. Those guys up front had to give Jake enough time.
Steve Smith was over 100 yards receiving in his 2 starts against Tampa last year. They swing the quick pass out to the corner. That's Kerry Colbert. And another Carolina first down.
And again, that alert play where they just come to the line of scrimmage, and if Jake Delhomme sees that corner playing off of his wide receiver, he'll just call alert, alert, throw the ball out there quickly, and try to let his wide receiver break a tackle and turn it up the field.
A gain of 16 on the play. Delhomme over 200 yards passing now. 12 minutes left in regulation, and Carolina on the move. First and 10 Panthers from the 32.
Comes the blitz.
The Panthers pick it up, and the pass is complete to D'Angelo Williams, and it looked like somebody got a piece of the face mask there. Jerron Bolden made the tackle. So a pickup of 7 more yards in the air. And certainly no flag thrown after what we thought would look like a face mask violation. From the 25 now on 2nd and 4. The pitch to Williams, trying to get around the corner. No such luck. A loss on the play. Shelton Quarles in on the tackle.
A great job playing off the blocks outside. Shelton Quarles. Going to see these guys at the top. Watch them. They're going to come out. They're going to try to get chopped. Look at Shelton Quarles get his hands down so that he can't get chopped, and then he plays off of it.
And there are flags on the field.
Those are obviously after the play. Delhomme pleading his case, so it looks like it must be going against the Panthers the way they're reacting.
Tony Correna explaining the violation to Derek Brooks. John Fox can't figure out what's going on. Chris Sims is back, at least on the sideline.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 78 had lined up on the end of the line of scrimmage. This penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Well, Todd Fordham was flagged there, the only reserve offensive lineman today for Carolina. Chris Sims is going to try to come back in this one. We talk about some great late drama. First, there's this matter of 3rd and 7 for Delhomme and the Panthers. They split to Sean Foster out wide. Pump fake, the ball is loose. And again, Tampa Bay recovers. Dwayne White has had a big day for the Bucs. He made the hit and the recovery. Tampa Bay taking over again.
Strange going on.
They've lost 8 yards and 2 downs. Now they have 3rd and about 18.
It's just a great open field tackle by Andre Goodman. And you watch Travis Henry, he talked about his elusiveness, his ability to bounce runs, and that's a great job in space by Goodman.
6 defensive backs. Jeremiah Bell has come in as the 6th defensive back. 3rd will call it officially 19. They need the 30. Here comes Holiday. Collins throws to Bennett. He is tackled at the 26-yard line by Hill. He is shy of a first down by 5 yards. He picks up 16.
Over Deshae Townsend.
Bill Cowher was talking about he wants his team to throw some of these.
throw some jump balls. You know why? Because there's two good things that can happen. You can catch it, you get pass interference, and the worst thing that can happen, he says, is an incomplete pass. How times have changed. But the Bengals, with talent, big, tall receiver.
Everything.
Because there's a party over here, so you might as well be here with the...
Welcome to Lowe's. May I help you? Yes, we have this kitchen.
Showing some pretty great concentration. That
a 9-yard return, and Lowry with a terrific special teams tackle.
Quattro. Barlow, Pennington, wide open for the first down at the Buffalo 42.
To the sack and turnover. Watch Dwayne White right here. Great job of technique. Watch him get Todd Fordham's hands off of him. Right there, now he's able to come around and strip Jake Delhomme of that ball, but he got Todd Fordham's hands down off of him so that he could continue around the corner.
1st and 10 as Chris Sims is back on the field, and his handoff to Cadillac Williams is met by Thomas Davis. Jake Delhomme has not enjoyed the second half in this ball game.
Well, he's a fiery guy. You can see him coming to the sideline after that sack. It's hard to see what he's saying there, but whatever it was, he's not happy.
Carolina has turned it over in 3 of their last 4 possessions. And so far, it's led to 14 Tampa Bay points and counting. 2nd and 10 for Sims. Play action this time. His first pass since taking the puffer.